Back from McKeon Park in Hyannis as the Harbor Hawks are set for a double dip on this Sunday afternoon with the Bourne Braves. Bourne coming off a 3-2 win yesterday over the Harwich Mariners. Meanwhile, for the Harbor Hawks, looking to avoid their sixth straight loss. And more importantly than that, these are two games that they have got to get. Borderline must-wins in both of the doubleheaders, as Hyannis sits 7 points behind the Bourne Braves. With a pair of wins, it could put them up to a 3-point deficit, which is well within striking distance of trying to reach the postseason. And to do so, in game one, Hyannis is going to send out the right-hander Glenn Albanese out of Louisville, making his first start of the summer. He made 2 in his school season. He's looking to shut down a Bourne lineup that has struggled much of the season offensively. It's the Harbor Hawks and the Braves for the first game of 2 of a doubleheader on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hi, everybody. Lyle Goldstein, Brendan Howe here with you. We thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. As Albanese is just finishing his warm-up pitches, throw was tossed down by Chad McDaniel II, and Bourne is set to come to the plate. 3 o'clock here from McKeon Park, an overcast day from what was sunny earlier has now been clouded by a bit of a gray sky here in Hyannis. But the Bourne lineup is set to look like this. Judd Fabian leading off, followed by Xavier Warren, Cade Beloso, Jimmy Glowenke, Jackson Greer, Cody Morissetti, Nick Bruiser, and the final 2, Kyle Hess and Jake McKenzie. Albanese gets the sign from McDaniel, rocks and fires, fastball just down, and we're underway. 3:01 the first pitch time from McKeon Park, as Hyannis is set for their 21st game of the summer, second against the Bourne Braves. Glenn's 1-0, misses down, 2 balls, no strikes the count. So Glenn Albanese, third appearance of the summer, first time starting a game. The righty gets the sign, comes home. Swing and a pop-up down the right field line. Mosley gives it a look, but it sails foul and out of play. Hyannis today in their home white uniforms. The blue pinstripes up on top of the jersey, as well as the pant legs, blue belts, blue hats with the orange lettering up on the top. Meanwhile, for Bourne, their road navy blue jerseys, bright red lettering, gray pants with the red stripe, and navy blue helmets. Offering, swinging a fly ball out to left. However, takes a couple steps back, now a bit in, and he makes the grab. 1 away, Judd Fabian's retired. Glenn Albanese makes pretty quick work of the Florida product. That'll bring up Xavier Warren, the switch hitter out of Central Michigan.
And that's what Albanese has to do. He's just got to induce contact and let his fielders help out behind him. We saw a ton of walks given up last night by this Hyannis staff. So the key for Albanese, just trying to induce some contact.
So Warren will hit from the left side. Glenn Albanese gets the sign as he rocks and deals home. Breaking ball, good for a strike. Glenn's exact numbers on the summer. He's thrown 2 2/3 innings coming into the start. Given up 3 earned runs on 7 hits. Walked 1, struck out 4. 0-1. Ground ball right side. That's going to tail just foul. Hyannis defense tonight. Left to right in the outfield, Trevor Hauver, Rowdy Jordan, Rigsby Mosley. And left to right in the infield, Edward Julian, Jordan Westberg making his second start of the summer. Anthony Servideo at second and Ian Fair at first. And the battery one more time, Missouri catcher Chad McDaniel behind the plate, and Albanese on the mound as he fires the 0-2, swing and a miss by Warren. Weak wave, and he comes up empty for the second out of the top of the first. Albanese records his first strikeout, and quickly 2 down for the number 3 hitter, Cade Beloso. So Hyannis comes into the game, a record of 3-16-1. This is their 21st game of the summer. For the Braves, 7-11, their 19th appearance. Pitch, left-handed hitting, Beloso watches it down. For Glenn Albanese, 4-pitch guy, has a low 90s fastball, also mixes in a changeup, curveball, and slider. Now ready, the 1-0. Just down, 2 balls, no strikes, the count. Albanese just finished his sophomore year. Right-handed pitcher, stands at 6'6", 220 pounds, hails from Batavia, Illinois. 2-0 in the dirt, and that runs the count to 3-0 to the hitter Beloso. He's way ahead. Glenn made 2 starts in his sophomore year, his 2019 season for Louisville, but they didn't last that long. He came against Notre Dame and the University of Virginia. One went 3 innings, one went just a third of an inning. Now the 3-0. just away, and he loses Beloso. Bourne puts their first base runner on the paths today. Cade Beloso flips the bat toward the dugout after a 4-pitch walk. And that'll segue things to the cleanup man, Jimmy Glowenke out of Dallas Baptist. So an early walk issued from the right-hander Albanese. Glowenke looks down the the left field line rather at his third base coach Harvey Shapiro, also the Bourne manager. That'll force the righty Albanese to work into the stretch. Shaded toward the third base side of the rubber. Pitch just away, it's 1-0. And Albanese didn't throw a whole lot in his school season either. He threw just 9 2/3 innings. Had a 3.72 ERA in that time, but season cut way short. Takes a breath as he'll check the runner. That's Beloso at first. Fires home. Upstairs, 2-0. So a pretty calm day here from McKeon Park in Hyannis. Bit of a sparse crowd on hand for the first game of the doubleheader. It's 79 degrees and cloudy here from McKeon Park. Slight wind blowing out toward right center as the hitter Glowenke pops it foul up and over the first base dugout. So second meeting of 6 between the two ball clubs here at this 3 o'clock start time. They'll play one more today. Each of these games set for 7 innings, as those are the regulations for doubleheaders in the Cape Cod League. Albanese is 2-1. Pop foul up on the right side again. That's going to get out of play and out toward the street just beyond McKeon Park. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. 0-0 here on the top of the first inning. Albanese looking to get his Harbor Hawks to bat pretty quickly. Retired the first 2 on a fly out and a strikeout. Then walked Cade Beloso, the LSU Tiger, on 4 pitches. The Cardinal comes home. Good breaking ball, but just misses up. Count runs full. It looked like it had some pretty nice break to it. Albanese started to walk off the mound toward the third base dugout, but didn't quite get the call. Infield back. Fair not holding on the runner Beloso. He'll be taking off with the pitch. 3-2 from Albanese. Fouled back off the screen. So after both games of the doubleheader conclude today, Bourne will not return to Hyannis in 2019. They've already played here once. That was a 4-2 Harbor Hawks win back last Sunday. And they'll have played their 3 games here at McKeon Park once the 2 today conclude. Albanese ready. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a high fly ball. Medium depth right field. Mosley backtracking. Takes him back to the track with the win, but he makes the grab. A little bit of a long fly out from Jimmy Glowenke, but no damage done as it ends the top of the first. Albanese faces 4, and for the Harbor Hawks as a whole, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. 0-0 here through the top of the first, and we'll be back for the Harbor Hawks' first at-bats on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back from McKeon Park in the bottom of the first inning, and after a clean frame of work from Glenn Albanese to retire the Bourne lineup in 4 hitters. The right-hander for Bourne, Colby Dunlop out of UConn, set to make an appearance here at McKeon Park. It'll be his 4th appearance of the summer, his 2nd start. He's set to face a Harbor Hawks lineup that looks like this. Jordan Westberg leading off. Boy, did he have a day yesterday. Followed by Rigsby Mosley up to the 2 slot. Trevor Hauver back in the lineup hitting 3rd. DeSantolo in the cleanup duty. Followed by Rowdy Jordan, Edward Julian, Ian Fair, Anthony Servideo, and Chad McDaniel. So the right-hander Dunlop opting to work directly out of the stretch with nobody on. Pitch to Westberg, it's up high. Dunlop on the season with Bourne, 8 2/3 innings, a 3.11 ERA. Hasn't walked anybody. He's also struck out 7. He's been pretty overpowering thus far. Pitch to Westberg, breaking ball down and away, it's 2-0. And he keeps the ball around the zone as well, clearly. Westberg a 2-home run night last night. 2-0 from Dunlop. Good fastball in the outside corner, it's 2-1. Dunlop, a right-hander out of UConn, once again. Not a huge kid, stands at 6'0", 185 pounds. He'll take a breath, stretch and fires. Upstairs to Westberg, it's 3-1. So Westberg was also walked once yesterday. That was in his final plate appearance. But after the 2 flyouts to begin his time in a Hyannis uniform, back-to-back home runs in as many plate appearances. 3-1, up high, and he loses them. Jordan Westberg draws a 5-pitch walk as he flips the bat back toward the on-deck circle and runs down to first. So he's aboard. Rigsby Mosley now the hitter. The Bourne defense tonight, left to right in the outfield, Nick Bruiser, Judd Fabian, and Kyle Hess. Same way around the infield, Xavier Warren, Jimmy Glowenke, Cody Morissetti, and Cade Beloso. Pitched in to Mosley. Good fastball at the knees, 0-1. The battery one more time. Greer behind the plate, and the right-hander Colby Dunlop out of UConn on the mound. Comes set right at the belt. Pitch to Rigsby Mosley upstairs. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Now, Bourne has had what's been quite a phenomenal pitching staff in 2019. All but 3 arms that are on the roster have a sub-4 ERA. Dunlop, one of those guys, sitting at 3.11 coming into the start as he throws over to first. Westberg back safely. But they've had some guys just flat out dominate. In fact, both the Gonzaga kids, Nick Trogerlich-Iverson, along with Mac Lardner, have had minuscule earned run averages. Mosley swings and misses at a fastball. It's 1-2. Trogerlich-Iverson, who's mostly served in a relief duty, in fact, all in relief for the Bourne Braves. 9 1/3 innings in 0.96 ERA. And Mac Lardner, who's made 3 starts and 3 tries, a 1.20 ERA in 15 innings. Mosley pitch, swing and a miss. Dunlop puts a breaking ball in the dirt. Rigsby swings right over the top of it, and there's 1 away. That'll bring up Trevor Hauver. And this Hyannis lineup very left-handed heavy against the righty Dunlop today. In fact, there's only 2 natural righties in the lineup. Jordan Westberg, who stands at first after the walk, as well as Ian Fair, who's back with his 2nd stint for Hyannis this summer. Fair came into the game last night as a pinch hitter, went 1 for 2. Now getting his first start since returning. Pitch to Hauver, way inside. Westberg thought about going, back pick from Greer, no tag applied by Beloso. So Dunlop put one in the dirt. Westberg gave a couple steps towards second base, but hit on the brakes and retreated back to the first base pillow. Hauver back in the lineup for the first time all summer yesterday. He didn't play and got himself a day off. 1-0. Swinging a tip back into the glove. Count levels. So Hauver got here to Cape Cod a couple days into the season. And he has just been inserted in the lineup from the 3 spot and playing left field every single night for this Hyannis ball club. Dunlop ready, the 1-1. Called strike right at the top of the zone. Borderline pitch to run the count to 1-2. For Colby Dunlop, not an overpowering heater. Sits high 80s to low 90s. Also mixes in a curveball. 0-0 in the bottom of the first. Westberg the runner at first. Hauver the hitter. The stretch and the 1-2 on the way. And it misses just outside. Jared DeSantolo awaiting on deck. And still a slight breeze here at McKeon Park blowing out toward right center. So a little bit of a jet stream here today. Of course, residing toward the right side of the outfield. 2-2. Swing and a pop-up left side, giving chase Xavier Warren. He's going to watch it get out of play. Hauver has 1 home run on the season. 9 RBIs, of course. 7 of them came in 1 contest. But Hyannis looking to get on the board early here against the Bourne Ball Club. Dunlop, the right-hander, gets the sign from Greer, sets above the belt, fires home. It's upstairs, 3-2 the count. And scoring early wasn't a problem for Hyannis the last time they faced off against the Braves. The only matchup they've completed so far, a 4-2 Hyannis win. They put up 3 runs in the bottom of the second, highlighted by an RBI hit from Hunter Goodman. Full count offering to Hauver, runner takes off, it's upstairs, ball 4. So Trevor Hauver, another base on balls issued. As he'll run down to first, and he picks up his 15th walk of the summer.
And it seems like that's all Hauver's been able to do lately, is no pitcher wants a part of him, and can you really blame them? I mean, we know he's got the power in the bat, but pitcher's just working around the zone to Trevor. He's drawn his 6th walk now in the last 3 games.
DeSantolo now the hitter. He can also walk a lot. But of course, he can hit the ball around the yard pretty well too. Dunlop's first offering, swinging a foul back. Jared comes into the day hitting .333. 1 for 4 with a walk yesterday. And still top 10 in the Cape League in average. He's been sitting there pretty comfortably over the last 10 games or so. Tied for 8th to be exact. He's also tied for 5th in walks with 13 entering today's play. Dunlop's 0-1. Pop-up left side down the left field line. That's going to find the hill. Some Harbor Hawk fans have set up some lawn chairs and sitting across the hill on the left field line. DeSantolo out of the box to reset for a minute with an 0-2 count, 1 away. 0-0 in the bottom of the first inning. And the Harbor Hawks looking to strike with Westberg at second, Hauver at first. They've both been issued free passes by the righty Colby Dunlop. 0-2 offering. Down in the dirt, chested up by the catcher Greer. No advancement from either runner. Westberg gave another couple steps toward third, but just motioned his way back to second as DeSantolo moves it to a 1-2 count. So Hyannis looking to pick up some ground on Bourne. Once again, if they can win both games today, they'll sit just 3 points behind the first place Braves. And it would all be helped out by a hot start with the bats. 1-2 to DeSantolo. Swing and a miss. 2 away in the bottom of the first as Colby Dunlop picks up his second strikeout as he's punched out both Mosley and DeSantolo for the first 2 outs of the inning.
Well, Dunlop just offered a high fastball, got DeSantolo to offer at it out of the zone, changed the eye level and went up the ladder and got him for the strikeout.
Now that brings up the switch hitting Rowdy Jordan. He'll adjust his Velcro on the batting gloves and dig into the left side. Both switch hitters for Hyannis in the lineup today. Jordan in the 5 slot. Chad McDaniel hitting 9th. Sun starting to break out at McKeon as the pitch on the way. Slapped down the left field line, giving chase Bruiser, and it's over his head. It's going to one-hop the wall. Westberg scores from third. Hauver getting the stop sign, stopping at third, and cruising into second base. Rowdy Jordan with an RBI double in the bottom of the first. It's 1-0 Hyannis as they strike early here at McKeon Park.
And it's about time Rowdy Jordan found some green grass in that outfield. He struggled with the bat early on in the season through his first few games here in a Hyannis uniform, but right there doing a nice job keeping his hands inside the baseball, sending it down the left field line opposite field for a double.
Edward Julian now the hitter. And Hyannis with an additional pair in scoring position. Hover at third, Jordan at second, and Edward Julian the hitter, who's already recorded a double in each of his first 3 games. Dunlop back out of the stretch, the offering. Called strike right at the letters. So Edward Julian, 4 for his first 10, those 3 doubles, as well as an RBI and 3 walks. He's had a really nice start since putting on the Harbor Hawk uniform after his season at Auburn. Offering, fouled back. And last summer he played with the Falmouth Commodores, so not unfamiliar with the confines of Cape Cod. But he's gotten off to a nice hot start here in 2019. He hit just .205 with Falmouth, 9 extra base hits. He's already got a third of that in a Hyannis uniform. 0-2 the count with 2 away, 1-0 Harbor Hawks the score. Pitch, way up high, takes the catcher Greer out of his crouch, and it's 1-2. So Julian puts that left hand up to the barrel of the bat. He'll step back in, touch the outer half of the plate once with his top of the wood. And he wiggles the bat above his left shoulder. 1-2 from Colby Dunlop. Swing and a miss, that ends the inning. Dunlop strikes out the side in the bottom of the first, but Hyannis, with a Rowdy Jordan RBI double, takes a 1-0 lead here at home. Harbor Hawks in the inning, 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on. We'll go to the second when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Jackson Greer, the Bourne catcher, set to lead off the top of the second from McKeon Park, as the Louisville righty Glenn Albanese is back on the mound for inning number 2. First pitch, swing and a lofty fly ball out to left field. That's going to hook fair just inside the chalk, and it gets toward the corner. Backhanded by Hover as the hitter Greer is cruising into second, no problem. And he's got a leadoff double to begin the top of the frame. So Greer aboard, Albanese issues his first hit, and Cody Morsetti steps in as the hitter from the left side. So again, Hyannis, only 2 natural righties in their lineup tonight, or rather this afternoon. But for Bourne, 3 natural lefties. Also throwing Xavier Warren from the switch hitting aspect of things, and there's 4. Pitch, good for a strike at the top of the zone. So home plate umpire John DiGirolamo seems to have a bit of a high zone, but calling it consistent both ways thus far. 0-1. Just down low, count evens. For Cody Morsetti, 222 hitter with 4 RBIs. And he's got an opportunity with the runner Jackson Greer out at second. Westberg creeping in on him a little bit, playing way up the middle. Servideo more at his natural spot at second. Offering, popped up on the infield. Left side, Julian moving back into his right, now a little bit to his left, an underhand grab right at the belt, and it retires the hitter, Cody Morissetti. So a nice job by Julian. He took the right approach, just overran it a little bit, but almost looked like it was on purpose, so it didn't take him more to his right, was easily able to cruise back to his left, and makes the grab with a little bit of wind blowing out here at McKeon Park for the first out. So Julian read that really well. Now it's the hitter, Nick Bruiser. He hails from Stanford, playing left field today. Albanese is offering. Breaking ball at the knees, called strike one. So once again, Albanese under 10 innings thrown in his season at Louisville. And he's looking to build up some durability here on Cape Cod. Throw just 2 2/3 coming into today as he drops the breaking ball down. So Albanese, 2 relief appearances so far. And now making his first start for Hyannis in 2019. Made 1 appearance in Orleans, 1 at Harwich, so his first time taking the mound at home. He checks the runner at second, that's Greer, now fires home. Fastball down, it's 2-1. For Glenn Albanese, he didn't make his first appearance in 2019 until March the 26th. Of course, the college baseball season starts around mid-February. So Albanese made that 1 appearance as he'll check the runner. The stretch and fire. Fly ball into short center field. Jordan coming in, and he makes the catch on the run. Throw back to Servideo at second. They doubled him off. 8-4 double play ends the top of the second as Rowdy Jordan hits the burners late as he charges in from center field, makes the grab at the belt level, and then throws on the run to the second baseman, Servideo. And it doubles off Jackson Greer, who was halfway between second and third. So that ends the top of the second. The score stays at 1-0 Hyannis. For the Braves in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on. We'll go to the bottom of the second when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Ian Fair, the Northeastern first baseman, making his first start in his second stint, comes to the right side of the plate to begin the bottom of the second as he represents the 7th hitter in the order with the bottom third set to come to the plate. Dunlop back on the mound as he sets and fires the first pitch. It's a fastball low. So the Harbor Hawks lead 1-0. An RBI double from Rowdy Jordan in the bottom of the first. Played at his college teammate Jordan Westberg from second. And that's where the score currently stands. 1-0 to Ian Fair. Line drive left side on a hop fielded by Glowinski on the backhand. Throws across and it's in time. So Fair retired after 2 pitches. And there's 1 quick out in the bottom of the second for the right-hander Dunlop. Servideo will now be the hitter. He comes off a 1-for-2 day yesterday, along with a pair of walks. And he's starting to get it going a little bit as well. Certainly reaching base a lot more over the last handful of ball games. Dunlop, the righty, comes home. Breaking ball just down, it's 1-0. Servidio's drawn 8 walks this season. It just kind of seems to be a theme of this Hyannis ball club. Of course, DeSantolo, as well as Trevor Hauver, a couple of the guys in double digits. Servideo swings and pops one foul out of play over the Hyannis dugout. So the Hyannis 3-4 hitters today, Hauver and DeSantolo, the only two with double-digit walks on the season. But Servideo sits at third on the team. So he's found his way on base a lot as he's worked some good counts. As the 0-1 comes in, it's down low. And I guess that speaks volumes to why he's the leadoff hitter at Ole Miss. He has a good eye, good approach, can work a lot of walks, also steals a lot of bases as he has some really good speed. 1-1. Good for a strike. Right on the outside corner, and the count moves to 1-2. So again, Servideo, 23 stolen bags in 2019. That ranks second in the SEC and led the Ole Miss Rebels. 1-2 on the way. Fastball runs outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Yeah, and you look at Servidio's on-base percentage at school, 427. So in other words, he gets on base at a very, very good rate. 2-2. Line drive into right center field, falling fast, and it's down for a hit. Servideo hits the bag at first. He'll stop right there. And in back-to-back games, he's picked up a base hit as he stands at first for Chad McDaniel.
Well, right on cue, Lyle. You were just talking about how much of an alarming rate Servideo reaches base at right there. Pokes a base hit into right center. He's aboard again. We've been on point with some of our predictions the last couple days.
Yeah, absolutely. You've had a couple. Well, who did you get last night?
That's a good question. I had Hunter Goodman a couple days
That's
ago.
what it was. That was the big one. The pitch to McDaniels popped up on the left side. The third baseman, Warren's going to give chase, but it's way out of his reach, and it falls over the fence into the bushes. Yeah, that's what it was. You were talking about Goodman's power, and hard not to when you watch his batting practices. Hunter, of course, not in the lineup today. Yeah, you called that home run out at Red Wilson, and that was his third of the summer. Then here this afternoon, Anthony Servideo picks up his first hit of the day, second for Hyannis as he stands at first. McDaniel's the hitter. The Hawks out to a 1-0 advantage. Dunlop throws over. Servidio's back standing up. He didn't have much of a lead over there. Beloso still applied a tag, but it was way late. McDaniel, the second of 2 switch hitters in the Hyannis order today. Dunlop from the first base side of the mound, fires home. McDaniel fouls it up and out of play. Jordan Westberg awaiting on deck. He represents the leadoff man in the Hyannis order today. Yesterday, Westberg hit in the 2 spot. But head coach Chad Gassman decides, you know what, let's just get him as many at-bats as we can. 0-2, down in the dirt. Catcher Greer keeps it in front of him as it trickles just up the first base line a bit, but no advancement from Anthony Servideo. So the Hyannis bat's really starting to get it going. For Bourne, it's something they've struggled to do most of the year. In fact, you look at their lineup, as well as their entire team for that matter, they don't have a qualified hitter above 300. 1-2, runner takes off. It's a hit and run, but it's tapped foul behind home plate. So Servideo got a good jump. McDaniel tried to put it in play, but checked his swing and couldn't quite get it out in fair ground. So Chad McDaniel, who hails from Columbia, or rather from Stoneman Douglas, Florida, plays his college baseball in Columbia for the Missouri Tigers. Throw over to first. Servidio's back safely. Stoneman Douglas, rather, his high school, inside Coral Springs, Florida. So Florida kid who made his way up to Missouri to play college ball and now out to the northeast part of the country for his summer. He checks his swing at a 1-2, appeal down to second. He does not go around. Mike Finn, who technically represents the third base umpires, moved over to second on a 3-man umpiring crew. And he says that McDaniel does not go around to even the count. So Servideo getting his lead off of first, Beloso holding him on. The second baseman Morissetti playing a bit to his right, so a big hole on the right side. Runner takes off, the offering, line drive foul down the right field line. Dunlop will get a new baseball. McDaniel steps out of the box. And Hyannis leading by 1 here in the bottom of the second frame. 3 hits combined so far. 1 double for each side as well. Offering to McDaniel. Ground ball foul, and he's putting together a lengthy at bat. He's fouled a few off already now. Home plate umpire John DiGirolamo is going to get some new baseballs from the Hyannis Batgirl. Still a nice wind blowing here from McKeon Park, but the sun's starting to make its way back out. There was a little bit of light rain earlier in the day during Hyannis' batting practice. 2-2, ground ball foul again. McDaniel is really swinging at anything close and keeping himself alive. So 8 pitches into the at-bat. Still a 2-2 count to the Missouri Tigers switch hitter. The Ole Miss Rebel Servideo getting his lead at first. The Yukon Husky Dunlop throws over. Tag applied by Beloso, but Servideo in safely. That rain, however, looks to be gone, at least as of now. It's become nice and sunny here at McKeon. Scattered clouds throughout the sky. Now the 2-2. Swing and a high pop-up on the infield left side. Warren moving to his right into foul ground. Now over to his left, back into fair ground. He drops the baseball. Picked up by Glowinski. Throw to second. Servideo called out anyway. But Xavier Warren, who moved into foul ground to his right, back to his left, couldn't make the play on the baseball as it hit the top of his glove. It rolled to Jimmy Glowinski about 10 feet to Warren's left. He just picked up the ball and flipped it to the second baseman Morissette for what will technically be a 6-4 fielder's choice. Weird play.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen it seems to be the trend over the course of the past couple of nights with thrown bats and errors that what looked like routine plays. That one, a pop-up that was sky high, but
Westberg takes a strike on the inside corner, so it's 0-1. But yeah, just, again, there is wind here today, so maybe that's playing a little bit of a factor, but we saw Edward Julian take a similar route, although he played the ball a lot better than Warren did just a minute ago. Now Dunlop ready the 0-1. Ground ball out in front of the mound, fielded by Dunlop, underhands to Beloso at first. That'll end the inning. So no runs come across for Hyannis in the bottom of the second. Anthony Servideo picked up his first hit of the day, but he was thrown out at second on the fielder's choice, and Chad McDaniel, the man stranded on the base paths. For Hyannis, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. We'll go to the top of the third. When we come back, it's Hyannis 1, Bourne 0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Eight, 9-1 coming to the plate for Bourne in the top of the third, as Glenn Albanese, the Louisville Cardinal, back on the mound for inning number 3, set to face Kyle Hess, Jake McKenzie, and Judd Fabian, who resides as the Bourne leadoff hitter. Hyannis fires home, swinging a high fly ball, medium depth right field. Mosley moves a step back, now a couple in, and he makes the grab. So Mosley had that one lined up almost to perfection. Took the right approach to go first step back, and cruised in a couple feet, and he just makes the grab no problem at about the neck-high level. So one away, that brings up the number 9 hitter, Jake McKenzie. Albany East ready, the first offering. Breaking ball down and away. McKenzie, 235 with 1 homer on the season. Also 3 runs batted in. And funny enough, McKenzie represents one of just 4 home runs that Bourne's hit this season. Albany East is 1-0. Fastball good for a strike on the outer black. So McKenzie has 1. That came early in the season. Xavier Warren, the number 2 hitter, has 2. Albany East fires home. Breaking ball down and away. The other home run came right here at McKeon Park for Bourne against the Harbor Hawks. 2-1 from Albany East. That misses down and away. 3 balls, 1 strike. Henry Davis was the man that hit that home run. That was his only one of the summer, of course. Albany East fires. Fastball low, and it walks McKenzie. So Albany East issues his second walk of the day. And with 1 out, McKenzie's aboard to flip the lineup back to the top for Judd Fabian. Yeah, but Henry Davis was the only man to put runs on the board for Bourne in that first game. That home run was a 2-run blast. And for him, that's only 1 of 2 hits he's recorded this season. Albany East, the stretch and fires. Fastball good for a strike to the hitter, Fabian. Of course, it didn't really end up playing much of a factor, as Hyannis still took the ball game 4-2. But Bourne just not a team that hits a lot of long balls. Again, Xavier Warren's the leader, and he's got just a pair of them. Albany East fires over. Tag applied by Fair, but back safely the runner, Jake McKenzie from Fordham. And again, Bourne an offense that has really struggled to kind of get the wheels going in this 2019 summer. I mean, they rank 10th in just about every offensive category. Pitch from Glenn. Low and away, and the count levels. 1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. Hyannis leading 1-0. Bourne hits just .218 as a team. That ranks 10th. 4 home runs, which is 10th in the league. They've also only scored 49 runs in 19 games. Albany East fires over. Tag applied by Fair, and just back in safely the runner, McKenzie. That was a sneaky pickoff move from Albany East. Fair put down a quick tag, and it looked like the runner, McKenzie, got a little bit of a late break back to the bag. But slides in just with enough time. And he stays on the base paths. The 6-6 Albany East fires over again. Tag applied by Fair, and once again called safe. So to put it into perspective about Bourne's run total, they average just a tad over 2.5 runs a game. Just 2.5 runs. The 1-1. Breaking ball fouled away by the hitter, Fabian. In fact, for Bourne's offense, they've only scored 5+ runs twice in their last 12 games. And their offense has been pretty limited to this point. Of course, the reason they have 7 wins in the books has been because their pitching staff has been unbelievable. Albany East fires over. Back sliding in safely again is the runner, Jake McKenzie. But that's been the Braves' Achilles heel. Some great pitching, but not always backed up by the hitting. Albany East looks down, fires the 1-2. Breaking ball fouled down the third baseline by the hitter, Fabian. Judd Fabian, 1 of 5 righties in the lineup today. If a lefty comes into the game for Hyannis, Xavier Warren would, of course, switch over to the right side. But 5 natural righties. The leadoff man, Fabian, wiggles the bat out toward the mound once or twice and now is into his stance. The bat sits just to the right of his head, offering swing and a miss. Some good run on that pitch from Albany East as that fans the hitter, Fabian, for the second out of the inning. Glenn picks up strikeout number 2. And that'll bring up Xavier Warren, who he's already punched out today. So Albanese has looked really strong here through 2 2/3 innings. And this outing so far today has already matched his inning total in his previous 2 appearances for Hyannis. Warren pinwheels the bat out at Albanese, now into his stance, knees slightly bent from the left-sided box. Breaking ball in, good for a strike at the top of the zone. So Albanese, who didn't see any time in 2018, through just 9 2/3 in 2019, has not been stretched out a whole lot over the course of his Louisville career. Throws over to first. Fair lets the ball get just a bit behind him, but he got a glove on it, so it doesn't travel too far, and McKenzie's going to have to hold it first. So Albanese has been throwing over there a lot, keeping a close tab on the runner, Jake McKenzie. 0-1 the count with 2 down. Hyannis still leading 1-0. McKenzie's stolen 3 bags this season. That leads the Bourne Ball Club. Albanese ready with the 0-1. Ground ball right at the first baseman. Fair sliding stop on the line going to his left, and he steps on the pillow for the final out. So Fair makes a nice play. Was hugging the line a little bit to begin with as he was holding on the runner, Jake McKenzie. But he slides a bit to his left, makes the stop at the chest level, and then just steps on the pillow for the final out. So Albanese has worked 3 strong innings here so far in his first start in a Harbor Hawk uniform. For Bourne in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's Hyannis 1, Bourne 0 on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Two, 3-4 coming to the plate for Hyannis in the bottom of the 3rd frame as Rigsby Mosley, the right fielder out of Troy, digs in from the left side for his 2nd plate appearance of the game. Right-hander Colby Dunlop back on the mound. Fires home to Mosley, who sprays one on the ground foul. Mosley struck out swinging in his first at bat. That followed a leadoff walk to Jordan Westberg from Colby Dunlop. As the righty comes set on the mound, Mosley wiggling the bat from the left, and he watches one up high to even the count. So Dunlop has been pretty effective so far here today, outside, of course, the Rowdy Jordan double. He kicks and delivers. Broken bat shot into right field. That's going to fall for a hit. Mosley stops at first, picks up his first hit of the game. And a broken bat single gives the Harbor Hawks their first runner of the inning. So Rigsby Mosley has really been swinging it well over the last handful of ball games. That brings up the number 3 hitter, Trevor Hauver. Arizona State Sun Devil playing left field today. Got a day off yesterday, but back into the lineup hitting in the 3rd spot. He slowly makes his way in, taps the plate twice, and flips the bat at the mound once. As Colby Dunlop, the Yukon Husky, kicks and fires, breaking ball low. Back to Rigsby. He's recorded hits in 5 of his last 6 contests. 2 multi-hit games in that time. 3 hits against Orleans, 2 at Falmouth in the 10-4 win. Pitch. Fastball hits the outside corner. It's 1-1. So Rigsby Mosley's really been swinging the bat well as of late. And again, it goes back to the trend with a lot of these guys are starting to figure it out. Much more the same with Jackson Olsen. He skidded for a little bit. Now he's really swinging it well. As Dunlop fires home to Hauver, misses outside and takes Greer out of his crouch. Those two are prime examples. Anthony Servidio's really starting to hit well. Rowdy Jordan's starting to figure it out himself. So the bats are starting to really put some innings together. 2-1 to Hauver, misses away. It's 3 balls, 1 strike. Back to Servidio just for a second. With that hit today, he's made it a 3-game hitting streak. And he's now walked 6 times in his last 3 games, including, or rather 4 games, including today. 3-1 to Hauver. Swinging a high pop-up. That's foul. It'll get out of play. And speaking of walks, Hauver, of course, has seen a lot of them this season. He's got 15 so far in 2019 if you include the first inning free pass he was issued today. He's got himself a 3-2 count right now. Mosley gets a short lead at first, held on by Beloso. Harbor Hawks leading 1-0. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss from Hauver. So the right-hander Colby Dunlop issues his 4th strikeout of the day. That'll bring up Jared DeSantolo with 1 out, 1 on. So Hauver saw a good pitch, but just couldn't quite make contact, maybe a little bit out in front for the first out of the inning. DeSantolo now the hitter. He struck out earlier in the ballgame. Second victim of a punch out from the right-hander Dunlop. Now the offering. This is outside. Count runs to 1 ball, no strikes. So Dunlop, a guy who's seen time in the bullpen a lot this summer. His 1 start that came against Orleans, he was knocked around a little bit in 3 2/3 innings as he fires over to first, back safe Rigsby Mosley. He's gone multi-innings each of his first 3 appearances. Now, of course, 4 if you include today. But that first outing against Orleans gave up 3 earned on 7 hits. Pitch into DeSantolo, runner takes off, grounded foul to the right side. But since then, Dunlop's been as good as one could ask for. His previous 2 outings in relief, one came against YD, one came against Wareham, both at home. 5 innings, no runs, 1 hit, no walks, 6 strikeouts. So after that first start, he's really started to come into his own in 2019 here in this summer. Offering to Jared. It's down low, 2 balls, 1 strike the count. And Dunlop, a guy that wasn't stretched out a whole ton in his season at UConn. He had an unbelievable outing to end his year, but he went 5+ innings just 5 times in 2019. 2-1 the count. Short lead from Mosley. Dunlop fires over. Rigsby back with a headfirst dive safely again. So once again, this game's set to go 7 innings. The second game of this double dip today will also go 7. Dunlop gets his sign, comes home. DeSantolo pops it foul out of play. So Hyannis has left at least 1 runner on base in each of the first 2 frames. 2 in the first, 1 in the second. But yesterday, they missed out on some potential opportunities. Of course, the Katuitt Ball Club really poured it on late and won that game by a final score of 16-4. But Hyannis had some chances early. Just couldn't quite come around with them. 2-2. Line drive over the head of the second baseman Morissetti into right center field. Mosley around second. That ball now gets by the right fielder Hess. He's at third. Gassman waving him around. And the throw coming in from Morissetti is off the line, and Mosley slides in safely. Jared DeSantolo stands up at second as it'll be ruled a single and an E9 to plate the second run of the day for Hyannis. So Jared squared one up into right center. It chased Hess way to his right and in the gap. Looked like he had a beat on it for a second, but the ball got by him. Mosley was thinking he was just going to get stopped at third as he started to slow up a bit as he cruised into third base. But Chad Gassman wailing those arms around the third base line, signaling for Mosley to round home. And he does so successfully, slid in safely as the throw from Morissetti was to the right of home plate and a bit up the first baseline, kind of over by the infield grass behind the plate. Now Rowdy Jordan, the hitter. Pitch is called a strike. So Jared DeSantolo just continues to rack up hits, his 17th of the summer. Rowdy hitting from the left side. He puts his left hand to his face for just a second, now back into his stance. Pitch from Dunlop. Swinging a fly ball out to short left center field. In comes Fabian. Now it's the left fielder Bruiser taking charge to make the grab in the gap. DeSantolo retreats back to second as Jordan flies out for the second out of the bottom of the third. It'll bring up Edward Julian. He's got an RBI opportunity at hand as well. Julian 0 for 1 today. He struck out swinging to end the bottom of the first. Dunlop giving him a long look in. The Auburn Tiger Julian wiggling the bat above his shoulder with his knees slightly bent in the box. Pitch. Called strike right at the knee level. So Julian's already had some success in a Hyannis uniform like we touched on in his first at bat. And he's done so while hitting a lot of balls the opposite way as well. Dunlop checks DeSantolo at second. Now a fire home. Swing and a miss from Julian. A big time hack from the Hyannis third baseman, but he makes it 0-2. Julian's double back at YD the other day on the 4th of July was a shot down the left field line. And he has no problem spraying it to all fields. His first double of the season went out to the right center gap. A lot of his power is in that right center range. But it's no problem going the other way and with some pop as well. 0-2. Breaking ball misses outside. So on that DeSantolo play, it's in fact ruled a single to right and an error by the right fielder. So DeSantolo won't be credited with the RBI, but regardless, it's 2-0 Harbor Hawks as they put themselves out to a lead early. 1-2 with 2 away. The right-hander Dunlop fires the 1-2. It's down low to even the count. Julian with 1 RBI so far on the summer. DeSantolo issuing some attention from the Dallas Baptist shortstop Jimmy Glowacki as he's crept in and playing up the middle, although he now resides back. Pitch to Julian, ground ball right at the first baseman Beloso. Fields cleanly, takes it himself to the bag. Inning over. One more run comes across for Hyannis on the Jared DeSantolo single, followed by the Kyle Hess error on the same play to score Rigsby Mosley. And as a result, the Harbor Hawks are up by 2. In the inning, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on. We'll go to the 4th when we come back on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Bourne sending up their 3-4-5 hitters to the plate in the top of the 4th. As Cade Beloso digs in from the left side with his Braves ball club trailing 2-0. The right-hander Glenn Albanese out of the windup fires home. It's a line drive into right center, falling in front of Rowdy Jordan for a base hit. So Cade Beloso with one pitch is aboard at first base and his first hit of the day. He reaches base for the second time after a first inning walk, and it'll bring up the cleanup man, Jimmy Glowinski, the Dallas Baptist shortstop.
Well, Beloso not waiting for Albanese to give him one to hit. He took the first pitch of the inning. And Bourne really can't waste any time. We talk about their offensive struggles, and in a game that means so much for both of these squads, Bourne can't wait around to try and come back.
So Albanese back to the stretch. He'll fire home. Glowinski swings at the first pitch, drives one out to deep left. Hover with a beat on it. He backs up and makes the grab just in front of the track. So Beloso retreats back to first. But just 2 pitches into the game, or rather the inning, we've seen a single out to right center, took Rowdy Jordan to his left, and then a fly out to the track, which took Trevor Hover back in a bit to his left in the gap. Time's going to be called as Hyannis pitching coach Ray Korn makes his way out to the mound to have a word with the right-hander Albanese. Nobody getting loose in the bullpen. And you know, Brendan, with that out just recorded by Glenn, that's now the longest outing he's had in any collegiate appearance, summer ball or school baseball. He threw 3 innings against Notre Dame. That was a season high for him. But now 3 1/3 innings here against Bourne at McKeon Park. Again, for a guy that didn't play in 2018, threw less than 10 innings in 2019, he hasn't had a whole lot of chances to be stretched out. But nobody warming up in the bullpen today. Maybe he's really got a chance to show his stuff, and if he does, so far it's been pretty impressive.
It absolutely has, and with a doubleheader on tap today, Jen Gassman's going to try and let Albanese go as long as he possibly can. Try and save the bullpen for game 2 if necessary.
So 1 out, 1 on the base paths. The hitter now Jackson Greer, the catcher. He swings at the first pitch and comes up empty.
You talk about a lot of these pitchers in the summer leagues on pitch counts and innings limits, but if he can extend Albanese and if he's pitching this well, no runs on 2 hits to this point, why not keep letting him go?
Absolutely. He's looked really sharp so far. 2 strikeouts, just the 2 hits. Pitch to Jackson Greer, misses down. Greer has one of the 2 Bourne base hits. It was a double back in the top of the second inning to lead off the frame. The other came just a couple minutes ago on the Cade Beloso single out to right center. Albanese comes set, glove set just below the belt. Breaking ball, slapped the other way through the right side, a base hit. Beloso moves up 90 feet to second. Greer hits the bag at first and stops right there and picks up his second hit of the afternoon. So a nice piece by Jackson Greer. The infield on the right side, specifically Servideo, was shaded to his right and toward the bag at second base. Left a big hole on the right side with Fair holding on the runner, Beloso. And as a result, Greer just takes advantage, shoots it through the 3-4 gap, and it'll bring up Cody Morissetti with 2 aboard. 2-0 Hyannis to score in the top of the 4th. This is the most trouble Albanese has worked himself into today. Pitch. Fastball just low, and it's ball 1. So Morissetti, left-handed hitter. Popped out to Edward Julian and foul ground in his first at bat. The hitter on deck, Nick Bruiser. But Albanese gives a look at the runner at second, comes home. Fastball just up high, it's 2-0. Albanese was ranked the number 15 prospect in the state of Illinois out of high school. So he had some success, of course, in his high school days, like pretty much all of these pitchers did. He'll come home. 2-0, rip to the right side. Past Servideo, couldn't get to it, and it skips into right field. Around third, Beloso. Throw comes in from Rigsby Mosley, cut off by the first baseman, Fair, and Cade steps on the plate for the first Braves run of the day. 3 hits in the inning, back-to-back for the Braves here in the top of the 4th, and that one an RBI knock from Cody Morissetti, his 5th run batted into the season to cut the lead to 1.
Well, second time through the lineup here for Bourne, finally starting to time up Albanese a little bit better. That time a fastball on the other half of the plate, Morissetti just poking one through the right side.
So the runners positionally stay the same. Now it's Greer at second, Morissetti at first, Bruiser the hitter. takes a fastball on the outer half for strike one. But again, Albanese racked up a lot of accolades in his time in high school. He was named a perfect game honorable mention. That was back in 2017. He was also named to the all-conference team 3 times, the all-area team once as well. Pitch, swing, and a miss, or rather, all-area team was also a trio of times. So for Glenn, some real success in high school. He really didn't have a bad year at Louisville. It's just the sample size was fairly small. 3.72 ERA, 9 2/3 innings. That was part of a ball club that, of course, finished first in the ACC, made it to the Final Four of the College World Series. 0-2 on the outside corner, strike 3. Albanese freezes Nick Bruiser for the second out of the inning and picks up punch-out number 3, his first one looking.
Well, some great location from Albanese, picking out a spot on the outside corner and hitting it right where McDaniel's glove was set. Painted the outside corner to give Bruiser another strikeout.
That brings up Kyle Hess. He flew out to right once today. Albanese checks the runner, comes home. Good on an inside off-speed pitch for strike 1. 2-1 the score in game 1 of a double dip from McKeon Park. Each team with 4 hits. Bourne threatening here in the top of the 4th. They've already plated 1. Albanese the offering. Slap shot over the glove of the shortstop, Westberg into left. Around third, the runner, Greer. He's getting the wave around, and the throw is not even going to come. Cut off by Westberg in short left center, and this game's knotted up at 2-2. RBI bloop shot single from Kyle Hess over the glove of Jordan Westberg plates the second run of the day for Bourne. And things are now deadlocked in the top of the 4th. So really not a hard piece of contact that Albanese gave up. Hess just fortunate to find some grass in short left center. Still with 2 outs, Jake McKenzie the hitter. As Glenn will fire home. Fastball misses just away. So Morissetti now the runner at second. Hess at first. Beloso and Greer have already come across. 2-2 in the top of the 4th with 2 down. Albanese now looking to keep things at bay and in a tie. Pitch. Heater low and down, or downstairs and outside. No real action yet in the Hyannis bullpen. A couple guys starting to stand and do some band work just to the left of the foul pole, behind the mound down the left field line. Albanese, however, looking to just further minimize damage. McKenzie yet to record an official at-bat today as he's walked once. Offering. Good fastball in the outside corner. Count runs to 2-1. McKenzie, the 7th man to the plate this inning. Albanese faced 4 in the first, 3 in the second, 4 in the third. But this is his longest inning to date in this ball game. 2-1 comes in. Weak wave from Jake McKenzie goes around to level the count. So McKenzie, a collegiate baseball freshman All-American back in his freshman year of 2018. And he followed it up with a .305 average this past season. Albanese the 2-2. Slap foul toward the Bourne dugout, and it hits off the railing. So a shortened ball game in both contests today. Each will just go 7 innings. We're just under halfway through the first one. McKenzie flips the bat out at the mound once. Infield playing straight up, no hold for either runner. Albanese now the 2-2 offering. Popped foul up and over the stands on the first base side into the grass. Big grass field resides just behind McKeon Park. And now some wind picking up a little bit again. The American flag in right center, gusting pretty heavily. And the wind blowing out as well. 2-2 the score. Pitch from Albanese. Line drive into left field. Hover comes in. It drops in front of him. Around third, the runner Morissette. The throw cut off by Julian, and Morissetti slides in safely. Another RBI single. This one off the bat of Jake McKenzie, and it's 3-2 Braves in the top of the 4th.
Well, now they're really just getting the better of Albanise's fastball. He left again, one down and in. Going down to get it was McKenzie. A nice piece of hitting that time to send one over the head of the shortstop Westberg into left to score another run.
That flips the lineup back to the top, and the 8th man to the plate in this inning, Judd Fabian, looks to pick up his first hit as he's 0 for 2. So Albanese fires home. Ground ball left side, Julian. It's off his glove, but backhanded by Westberg, backing him up. So Westberg saves a run from scoring. Julian moved to his left. The ball took a tough hop on him and skipped over his glove, but Westberg with the backhanded stop just on the lip of the infield as he was moving to his right, and the bases will stay loaded with nobody further scoring. So a really nice play from Jordan Westberg to back up his third baseman, Julian. That saves a run for now. Xavier Warren's now the hitter. The lone switch hitter in the Braves lineup. Tosses the bat to the mound once from the left side, now into his stance. Pitch from Albanese. Misses just outside with an off-speed pitch. So up until that infield single from Fabian, everybody had advanced the same ways. Beloso scored from second. Greer scored from second. Morissetti scored from second. And the runners behind them on the base paths only advanced one on each single. Pitch slapped into left field in the air. Hauver charging in, and he makes the grab at the letter level. That ends the top of the 4th, but the damage has been done for the Braves here in the top of the 4th inning. 3 runs come across. They put together 5 hits, no errors, and leave 3 left on. 3-2 Bourne the score through 3.5 frames. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.
As we bring you back to McKeon Park, it's Yukon right-hander Colby Dunlop back to the hill as he enters his 4th inning of work. And as Hyannis returns to the plate, they'll bring up Ian Fair, Anthony Servideo, and Chad McDaniel. And the hometown Harbor Hawks find themselves with some work to do. They trail things 3-2 at the hands of the Bourne Braves. Bourne struck for 3 in the top half of the frame. As Ian Fair steps in from the right side, he's 0 for 1. He's getting his second crack at Dunlop on the mound. Right-hander set his first pitch, a fastball spiked up to the plate. It's 1-0. So Hyannis has put up 2 runs on 4 hits. Bourne has racked up 3 on 7. But Lyle, we talk about not a lot of hard contact of Albanese. They've just been timing them up well and picking out some good spots in the outfield. Harbor Hawks trying to respond in the home half of the 4th. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball. Ian checks his swing. Appeal down to first, and he went. The count evens.
Yeah, again, it was just a couple of well-placed balls. I mean, you talk about the opposite field single from Jackson Greer, just punched it through the 3-4 gap with Fair holding a runner on, Servideo up off to his right. A couple of bad luck balls.
1-1 to Fair as a breaking ball chopped foul off the brick wall by Anthony Servideo in the on-deck area. Hyannis ball boy will go retrieve it. Fair steps back in with a count of 1-2. Hyannis has left at least one base runner on in each of the 3 times they've been to the plate today. Dunlop set at the belt, the 1-2 pitch. It's a high fastball. Up at the eye level. Count evens at 2-2. So Ian, in the midst of his second stint of the summer with Hyannis, was 3 for his first 7 before taking a couple weeks back at home. Dunlop a pause at the belt. Now his 2-2 offering. Chopper left side. Ranging in the third baseman Warren, but it's going to be the shortstop Golenke to pick it up and fire, not in time. So Fair beats out an infield single on a high chopper to the left side. Golenke had to range over a bit to his right to make the backhanded play, and the throw not in time. So Fair flashing some good hustle down the first baseline, and now Servideo steps in.
And he really gave a good hard 90 down the line. Warren probably had a little bit more momentum going toward first, but he was called off by the shortstop Golenke. Made a good throw across the diamond, just not quite in time.
So Anthony digs in. He bats tonight out of the number 8 spot in the lineup. Last night he was inserted in the leadoff spot, but Gassman opting to slide him down in the lineup, perhaps letting him see some more fastballs. Already singled once today. That was in the second inning. Was thrown out at second base as part of a fielder's choice that Chad McDaniel reached on. Fair with a short lead at first. 1-0 offering is sent up and over the bleachers off to the left side behind the Hyannis dugout, out of play. Now, Anthony entered today with the batting average at 136. That has climbed up to 156 now. Getting his second look at the Yukon Husky on the hill. Batting with 1 on, nobody out. Hyannis half of the 4th. Dunlop set his offering. Breaking ball just low. And 2 balls in a strike to the Ole Miss Rebel. And the bottom of the lineup for Hyannis over the course of the past couple games has really been doing the job well. Just getting on base and turning things back to the top of the order as Servideo chops a 2-1 pitch through the right side into right field, a base hit. So Fair advancing up 90 feet. Servideo notching his second base hit of the evening. And that'll bring up Chad McDaniel.
Well, now Hyannis catching a couple nice breaks. Fair beat out the infield single. And Servideo kind of just a C&I ground ball through the right side, but finds a way to pick up a hit. And now Hyannis has something brewing in the bottom of the 4th.
So now time is called. The Bourne manager has emerged from the dugout. The rest of the infield, as well as Greer from behind the plate, will join on the mound for the conference. Well, Lyle, we talked about the pitching numbers for this Bourne pitching staff. They have been absolutely dynamite on the hill. They came into today's action second in the league in hits given up, just 132 on the season. Giving up the least amount of runs at 50. But Hyannis has been piecing them up pretty well so far through the first 3. So that will be the day for Colby Dunlop. Bourne is going to opt to go to the bullpen. It's going to be a right-hander into the game, and we'll have that pitching change for you on the other side of the break when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. So we bring you back to McKeon Park off the pitching change. Jared Poland into the game for the Bourne Braves, opting to go with the right-hander in relief of Colby Dunlop, whose line is still open. He worked 3+, surrendered 6 hits, walked 4 and struck out 2. So Chad McDaniel steps in. He'll be the first man to greet him with 2 aboard and nobody out as he sends one on the ground to second. Fielded on a hop by Morsetti to second for 1, back to first in time, a double play. So Ian Fair advances to third on the 4-6-3 double play. And 2 down now for the top of the order in Jordan Westberg.
Yeah, tough break there as Hyannis really had something going. And Fair still on board at third, but the double play, a little bit of a momentum killer. Although, with Hyannis trailing by 1, a single would still tie things up.
So just what the doctor ordered out of the bullpen for Bourne. Trying to shut down a Hyannis threat here in the 4th inning and avoid the hometown Harborhawks tying the ball game. Westberg watches a fastball down and in, called strike. Now, what a debut this man had last night here at McKeon Park. 2 home runs in the ball game and back-to-back plate appearances as he awaits an 0-1. Fastball again in the dirt. The count evens a ball and a strike, but back to Westberg's debut. 1 home run, he flashed the opposite field power, and we thought that was impressive. But the next plate appearance, an absolute moonshot over the left field wall here at McKeon Park into about the 3rd row of trees. 1-1 fastball again, pumped in for a strike at the bottom of the zone. But an absolute no-doubter out of here in a hurry at that. Put it on a rope. And it's about 324 to the foul pole down the line and left. But he hit it well beyond that mark. 1-2. Fastball, chopper up the 3rd baseline. It's going to roll foul just in front of the bag. Warren came in to scoop it up as Ian Fair was crossing the plate. He'll retreat back to the bag. So Hyannis threatening with the runner just 90 feet away from tying the ball game. Again, Bourne putting up 5 hits in the 4th inning to plate 3 runs and take the lead here at McKeon. So Westberg, who picked up 4 RBIs in the game last night, a chance to notch his 5th in his 2nd game in a Harborhawk uniform. Pulling into the off for the 1-2. It's ripped into left field, a base hit. An RBI for Jordan Westberg, and a single's going to tie the ball game at 3 apiece.
He stays hot. 2 home runs last night. Finds himself with an RBI opportunity right there, and he just shoots one through the 5-6 gap on a line drive. So Jordan Westberg, 3rd hit of the summer. Already his 5th RBI. He's made a quick impact in just under 2 games.
That'll transition things to another hot hitter, Rigsby Mosley. Picked up a hit and came around to score in his last plate appearance. So Chad Gassman opting to slide Westberg up 1 spot in the lineup to the leadoff position. And it pays dividends for Hyannis here in the 4th to tie the game at 3 apiece. As a matter of fact, the line's even, 3 runs on 7 hits for both sides. First pitch to Mosley, fastball down. So the Hyannis offense starting to piece it together. There's some action down in the Hyannis bullpen. A right-hander starting to get loose. Poland's 1-0. Another fastball in the dirt. Bouncing up out of the crouch was Greer, but no advance for Westberg down at first. And if the pitching can follow suit with what the offense has been able to muster up the past 3 or 4 games, Hyannis could be in good shape going forward. And a big day today here against Bourne. 2-0 fastball. That misses down. 3-0. So Rigsby putting himself firmly in the driver's seat. Batting here with 1 on and 2 down. Trevor Hopper awaiting his 3rd plate appearance on deck should we get to him. Poland's 3-0. Fastball, that's a called strike. Stuffed one at the top of the zone. Right about at the letters of Mosley. That's the Florida Gator right-hander Nolan Cripps down in the pen getting loose. Rigsby waves the bat toward Poland on the hill as he comes set at the chest. The 3-1. Fastball, that's on the outside corner, and the count fills up. A big spot here for Rigsby to try and keep this inning alive and turn things to the big bat, Trevor Hopper. He's got a full count against Poland, who was able to work a double play right out of the bullpen. But Mosley forcing him to sweat a little bit. Here's the payoff pitch. Downstairs, and he walked him. So Westberg pushed up into scoring position on the walk for Mosley. Rigsby finds himself aboard for the second time today as Haber makes his way up to the plate.
Yeah, nice job by Rigsby Mosley. Got himself into a 3-0 count. The right-hander, Poland, works it back to full. But Rigsby isn't really fazed by it, just was taking what he was given to him and extends the inning, which is what Hyannis really needed.
So here's a man at the plate, no stranger to walks, Haber. He's got 15 on the season. He's already picked up one tonight as he fouls back a first pitch into the screen. And pitchers have just wanted absolutely no part of the Sun Devil bat. Trying to find one to square up here with 2 down in the 4th inning and give Hyannis the lead back. It's Westberg at second, Mosley at first. Trevor awaiting the 0-1 pitch from Poland. Here it comes. Fastball swing and a miss. Wave through it on the outside corner, and he's down 0-2. In addition to the walk, Trevor has struck out tonight. That was back in the 3rd inning in his most recent plate appearance. So Poland trying to minimize damage and a Hyannis threat. He's plated 1 run in each of the frames that they've scored, the 0-2. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 3 called. Haber goes down looking as he hangs the head on the walk back to the dugout. Now Poland is able to escape the jam. But Hyannis strikes back to even the ball game at 3-3. Bourne back to the plate in the top of the 5th when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. We've got a brand new ball game here from McKeon Park as we enter play in the top of the 5th inning. Bourne makes their way back to the plate in a 3-3 ball game, and Chad Gassman has turned to the bullpen. It's the right-hander out of Florida, Nolan Crisp. He's making his 6th appearance for Hyannis this summer, all of which previous came out of the bullpen. He's gone 9 innings, given up 11 hits, 11 runs, but only 9 earned. Walked 6 and struck out 10. First pitch to the leadoff man, Cade Beloso, was in for a strike. No one has also picked up a save for Hyannis on the season, but seeing some action in game 1 of this doubleheader. A 1 breaking ball in the air to right center field, sending Mosley back toward the wall, and that one's out of here. Cade Beloso strikes, and Bourne, just like that, takes the lead right away from Hyannis. 4-3, Bourne on top after the solo blast from Cade Beloso.
And that looked like an off-speed pitch that just kind of hung up over the plate, and Beloso takes advantage of it. It's his first home run of the summer. He's had a solo blast to put Bourne back in the lead. Or rather, take their first lead of the game, we should say. They tied it up.
First pitch to the new hitter, Galenki, is a fastball that misses away.
Or rather, their second lead. Yeah, they had the lead in the third before Hyannis tied it up, but just tough there from Crisp.
Crisp 1-0. Another fastball. That one catches the bottom of the zone. Count evens 1-1. Well, not only was that Beloso's first home run of the summer, that was his first RBI as well. Paying dividends for this Bourne Braves offense that struggled as Crisp misses with a breaking ball away. And no one had an ERA of 9 flat coming into his appearance today. This is 2-1 offering. As a breaking ball misses downstairs, it's 3-1. And Crisp made an appearance on the 4th of July at YD. Pitched 1 inning, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned on 2 hits. It's a 3-1 chopper foul off the foot of Galenki. Just trickles softly down the third base line as McDaniel goes to retrieve it. So the count filled up on the right-handed hitting shortstop. And the previous 2 trips to the mound for Nolan before that appearance on the 4th at YD. There were 2 clean innings as a fastball missed outside on the payoff pitch. So Crisp surrenders his 7th walk of the season, and that puts a runner aboard with nobody down for Jackson Greer. So the Bourne backstop tonight has had himself quite a day at the plate already. Making his 3rd plate appearance as he digs into the right-handed batter's box. He's picked up a double and a single. He's halfway to the cycle. Bourne on top 4-3 in action in the top of the 5th as Crisp turns and fires back to first. In with a head first dive with the runner Galenki. Infield shaded a bit back with the exception of Fair holding the runner on. First pitch, a grounder to Julian at third, goes down to a knee to get it to second for 1, back to first, in time, a double play. So 5-4-3 they go. The second double play of the game split in half by the 2 squads. So just like that, Galenki is erased off the base paths, and there's 2 down for Cody Morissetti.
Yeah, that really helps Crisp out. Gave up the leadoff home run, walked a guy. That was Glowinski. But a nice response there to put together that 5-4-3 double play. Just an easy ground ball to Julian at third.
So Cody steps in for a plate appearance with 2 down as he watches a fastball low. Cody's also picked up a hit tonight. Picked up an RBI with it as well. No one's 1-0. Breaking ball, that one slapped down the left field line, foul out of play. So Bourne has now out-hit Hyannis. 4 runs on 8 hits. No one into the windup, the 1-1. Breaking ball, that catches the inside part of the plate. Count 1-2, and Crisp 1 strike away from wiggling out of the 5th. Crisp buying a strikeout. 1-2 pitch, and he got him. Breaking ball down and away. Morissetti fans over the top of it. Held onto by McDaniel behind the plate, and that ends the inning. But Bourne strikes back. They pick up 1 on the solo blast from Cade Beloso, his first of the summer. And it's Braves 4, Harbor Hawks 3. We go to the bottom of the 5th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Hyannis back to the plate in the bottom of the fifth. Jared DeSantolo, Rowdy Jordan, and Edward Julian. The three set to be due up in the frame against the right-hander Jared Poland. Back for his first full inning of work out of relief from the Braves bullpen this evening. Hyannis down by one by a score of 4-3. And keep in mind, these games only 7 innings. As doubleheader rules slated by the Cape Cod League as DeSantolo watches a fastball high. It's 1-0. Jared came into action today, a .333 hitter. Watches a 1-0 fastball again in the dirt. It's 2 balls, no strikes. So the FAU Owls been consistently putting bat to baseball time and time again throughout the season. 2-0 pitch, big cut and a miss. Top hand came off the bat as he waved through it. 2 balls and 1 strike. DeSantolo with a hearty hack at that one, perhaps looking to knot this game up. Jared yet to hit a home run on the summer, but has racked up 2 RBIs as a 2-1 pitch comes in. It's a high fastball, 3-1. And tonight, Jared 1 for 2 with single and a strikeout. He awaits the 3-1. Fastball catches the outside corner to fill the count. Hyannis with their hands full today against these Bourne Braves. Again, one more game to come, about 45 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Payoff pitch to DeSantolo. Fastball rips to the left, but foul out of play. The count stays at 3-2 as Poland receives a new baseball atop the rubber. And a Bourne offense, last in the league in most offensive categories, have put up 4 runs on Hyannis through 5 trips to the plate. They were silenced through the first 3. They're coming alive for 3 in the 4th and tacking on 1 more in the 5th. The next 3-2 to DeSantolo. That one in the air to shallow left. That's going to fall in front of the left fielder, Bruiser, a base hit. So Jared aboard for the second time in back-to-back plate appearances. He's got himself a couple of singles. And that puts a runner on to lead off the 5th for Rowdy Jordan.
I'll make it 18 hits on the summer for DeSantolo. Again, he just finds ways to reach base. He's really good at hitting the opposite way. That helps him out a lot, too. He's not afraid to stay with pitches, and that's what he does right there.
17th hit of the summer for Jared. And something interesting to note, we saw Max Troiani a few nights ago in Orleans, and he's nicknamed the singles king around the Cape Cod League. But Jared DeSantolo, he's only gone for 1 extra base hit as well. Jordan squares around to bunt, pulls back a called strike as DeSantolo goes scampering back to the bag at first. Greer had popped out of the crouch and made it look like he was going to try to attempt a back pick to first. So the count 0-1 to Rowdy Jordan. He's picked up an RBI on a double. That was in the first inning. That started off the scoring that gave Hyannis the lead. Jordan drops down a number in front of the plate off the bunt. Off the mound to get it, Poland fires to first in time to get Jordan. But that pushes DeSantolo up into scoring position with 1 down.
Yeah, that's a good call by Chad Gassman. Rowdy Jordan having no problem getting a bunt down, I'm sure. He dropped a lot of them, a decent amount of them rather, in his school season, as he's a leadoff hitter who can hit from both ways. So that will often happen. And as a result here, puts DeSantolo at second, and it will segue things to Edward Julian, who we know is an RBI machine, and has gotten off to a nice start on Cape Cod.
So a meeting on the mound for the reliever, Poland. There is some action. Another right-hander down in the Braves bullpen. He's loosening up. Before this inning started, Connor Ash was throwing in the Hyannis bullpen. He's now sat back down. But Edward Julian will be the hitter when action resumes. He's 0 for 2, trying to change the tide for himself. Struck out in the first and bounced one over to first. That was in the 3rd inning to Beloso, who was responsible for getting the lead back for the Braves on a solo blast. So the meeting concludes. Jordan moving DeSantolo up into scoring position just a moment ago with Julian stepping in and a chance for an RBI. Once again, a big chance for Hyannis to strike back as we move toward the later frames in Game 1 of this double dip. And again, such an important day for Hyannis standings-wise. Bourne is the team that they're looking up at in the cellar of the Western Division. Hyannis trying to answer back in the 5th. First pitch to Julian, swings and sends it in the air down the left field line. Bruiser ranging back to the wall, and it gets over his head. It's going to one-hop the wall. DeSantolo rounding third. He's going to have no problem scoring. And Julian trots into second base. It's an RBI double to tie the ball game 4-4.
Well, how about that for Edward Julian, his 4th double in as many games in a Harbor Hawk uniform. And it goes back to the opposite field power, too. Shoots one the other way, a towering fly ball down the line. It took Bruiser back, just turned his shoulders one too many times, and he couldn't find the baseball. As a result, one hops the wall and ties the game back up.
As Bruiser was approaching the track, he slowed up as it appeared that he thought that might have enough gas to get out of here. But as we talked about a bit before, a bit of a strong wind blowing across the ballpark toward right center. But perhaps the wind having something to do with it, as now a ball from the Braves bullpen has trickled onto the field of play. Gurr out of the crouch to go send it back down the right field line to his bullpen. Ian Fair, the hitter. He's 1 for 2 as well. So Hyannis tying the ball game, 4 runs on 9 hits. It's been a back and forth affair here in game 1 of this doubleheader. Solid crowd on hand on this Saturday afternoon. Ian Fair from the right side. First pitch to him, a breaking ball, is a called strike at the knees. So Ian trying to pick up an RBI for himself. He's got a runner 180 feet away from giving Hyannis the lead back is Edward Julian. Bourne looks to him, the 0-1. Breaking ball way inside. Greer sliding to his left toward the right-handed batter's box to corral it. So a ball and a strike to the Northeastern product, Ian Fair. Now Connor Ash has resumed some throwing down the left field line of the Hyannis pen. Pulling a look to Julian at second. Now fires a 1-1. Fastball swing and a miss. Fair trying to go down and away to get a piece of that fastball. Came up empty. Poland has worked himself into a 2-strike count. 1 on and 1 down for the Harbor Hawks in their half of the 5th inning. Poland deposit the letters, now the offering. Fair swings and fouls one away. Spoiled a high fastball about letter high. Home plate umpire John DiGirolamo has been giving pitchers that call at the top of the zone. Fair just trying to get a piece of it to stay alive and see another pitch. The count 1-2 as Poland looks toward Greer for a sign. Now he's got one he likes. A look to second, now he comes home. Fair swings and chops one down the third baseline, foul. Warren goes to retrieve it just past Chad Gassman down the third baseline. So Fair putting up a pretty lengthy at bat, fouling off a couple tough pitches to stay alive. Hyannis has scored in each of the last 3 times they've been to the plate. 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 1 here in the 5th, and a chance for more. Poland set is 1-2. Fair, a nubber up the third baseline. Warren going to be a tough play, charging in to get it off bounds. Throw not in time. So Ian Fair again, another infield single. His second on back-to-back trips to the plate. That pushes Julian up to third base, and striding in, Anthony Servideo.
Ian Fair, 2 infield hits today, but of course he's going to take it. Reaches base at first, extends the inning, and with 1 out, Hyannis has a chance to take the lead back.
And at this point in the ball game, boy, would that go a long way. With Connor Ash throwing in the bullpen, and we know the stuff he has, the swing and miss in his arsenal. So Hyannis trying to get a lead and then tack on some insurance if they can. But the runner at third, Edward Julian, the most important one right now, with Servideo digging in from the left side. Hyannis has piled up double-digit hits. They now sit at 10. Poland's first offering. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. And in today's circumstances, if you want to pick up a hit, Anthony Servidio's been the guy to do it. He's got 2 of them so far, a 2-for-2 performance. Big cut and a miss through a high fastball. That time he's down 0-2. So Poland getting the better of Anthony in this at-bat. And the Rebel, who hails from Ole Miss, trying to come through for Hyannis in a clutch spot in the bottom of the 5th inning from McKeon Park. Poland set is 0-2. Fastball fouled up and over the press box. That one trailing back toward the parking lot, out of play. So Servideo steps out, gets some pine tar on the bottom of those batting gloves. He'll step back in. Chad McDaniel on deck. He'll be the next to hit. Double play is in order. Glewenke and Morissetti shaded toward the second base bag a bit. Poland fires home. It's a fastball that misses downstairs. So this Hyannis offense, you look at, ranks league wide. 8th in runs scored with 77. But that number has been on the rise over the last couple games. The 1-2. Servideo swings and sends it down the left field line. That again will get out of play and find the crowd. An offense that really struggled to start the season, much similar to what Bourne has done to this point. But these Harbor Hawks, ever so resilient, trying to battle the 4th place Bourne Braves and climb back just a bit out of the cellar of the Western Division and pick up a couple of points. Poland a long pause, brings the glove to the chest. A 1-2 misses high with a fastball. Throwing has ceased for the moment in the Bourne bullpen. Waiting to see if Poland is able to work himself out of a 2 runners on 1 out jam. The 2-2 to Servideo. Breaking ball dropped in, strike 3. Poland picks up the outside corner with a breaking ball, and that is a big strikeout of Servideo, the first time he's been set down today. And that will give things to Chad McDaniel with 2 down in the inning.
That's a borderline strike from Poland, but spots it up well. Records his first strikeout of the game.
So a big one for the Bourne Brave right-hander. Chad McDaniel steps in, 0 for 1 and reached on a fielder's choice. First pitch to McDaniel, swings and sends it in the air, left side, but that one will tail back foul. Warren gave it a look for a moment, but watched it go over the fence and out of play. The runners aboard: Edward Julian at third, Ian Fair across the diamond at first. Hyannis in need of just a base hit to get the lead back here at home at McKeon Park. Poland's 0-1. Fastball upstairs. McDaniel picked up the bat off his back shoulder for a minute, thought about going around. Instead, pulls back. The count evens at 1-1. Chad comes into action. A 175 clip. The 1-1. Cut and a miss through a fastball down and away. Poland's really been spotting up those pitches on the outside corner quite well. He's missed his location over the plate quite a bit, but when he's had to, he's picked up that outside corner. He's got McDaniel on a 2-strike count. The pitch. Breaking ball, McDaniel sends it in the air to right field, sending Hess back. It's over his head. It's going to fall in. McDaniel picks up an RBI as Julian crosses the plate. Ian Fair trying to go first to the plate, and he will without a throw. It's 6-4 Hyannis, a 2 RBI double for Chad McDaniel.
That ball was a laser out to right center. Hess moved to his right on it, tried to make a leaping grab, but probably didn't angle his way far back enough as it gets over his head. And Hyannis takes a 6-4 lead here in the 5th. Looks like that's going to be the end for Poland, too.
So Poland surrenders the 4th and 5th RBIs to catcher Chad McDaniel, and they are big ones. 6-4 Hyannis as Poland will exit, and a new pitcher on for the Bourne Braves. It'll be their 3rd arm of the game, and we'll have that for you on the other side of the break when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Back to McKeon Park off the pitching change. The third arm into the game for the Bourne Braves. It's the right-hander from Arizona State, Blake Burzell. The 6'6" freshman comes on in relief for Bourne, with Hyannis snatching a 6-4 lead back. And Burzell will square off against Jordan Westberg, who will be the first man to greet him out of the pen. Runner in scoring position with 2 down. That's Chad McDaniel. Just laced a 2-out, 2 RBI double as a breaking ball dropped in for a strike from Burzell on the first pitch of his outing. 0-1 to Westberg. Jordan's reached base twice, a walk and a single in the first and fourth, respectively. Burzell into the game for his 5th appearance this season with Bourne, all out of the pen. 0-1, a fastball. Westberg sends it up over the Bourne dugout, out of play. An 0-1 record for Blake so far on the season. He's pitched 5 innings, struck out 3, gave up 5 hits, and hasn't walked anybody. Last time he made an appearance in a Brave uniform, July the 2nd at Katuitt. Pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 runs on 3 hits. Trying to silence the Hyannis bats here in the 5th inning as it fires a fastball low and away. It's 1-2. The Bourne put up a 3 spot in the top of the 4th. Hyannis just 1 inning later, responding with a 3 spot of their own. And Bourne still not out of the woods just yet. A look to second, now the 1-2 to Westberg as he sends it through the right side into right field, a base hit. McDaniel's going to be sent around third. He's going to come to the plate. The throw is going to be in time. Hess guns McDaniel down at the plate after the relay from Beloso up the first baseline, and they got McDaniel by a good 3 or 4 feet to end the inning. But Hyannis responds with 3 runs. They take the lead back 6-4. Bourne coming back to the plate in the top of the 6th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the 6th here from McKeon Park. Hyannis owners of a 2-run advantage. It's 6-4. As Bourne makes their way back to the plate, they'll send the bottom third of their order to the dish, starting with Nick Bruiser, followed by Kyle Hess and Jake McKenzie. So Nolan Crisp back on the hill for Hyannis, his first full inning in relief for Chad Gassman. Some more action down in the Hyannis bullpen. Still, that's Connor Ash loosening up. So perhaps the end of the day for Nolan Crisp looming soon, but he'll face Nick Bruiser to start off things in the 6th. The liner caught by Ian Ferry, climbed the ladder to make the grab, 1 down. A soft looping shot off the bat of Bruiser, and Fair using his 6'6" frame to his advantage. Going up the ladder with the snow cone grab, 1 down. So a heck of a play from the Northeastern first baseman. That'll bring up Kyle Hess. He watches the first pitch fastball high. And that is what Ian Fair can give you with the glove. As we mentioned in his first stint, 3 for 7 with the bat, but flashing the leather there. Crisp fires a 1-0 fastball that misses outside. It's 2-0. The Bourne right fielder Hess trying to make a play on a double from the man that sits behind him, Chad McDaniel, as the fastball's in for a strike. It's 2-1. Made the leap in right field just as the ball just tailed over his glove into the wall, scoring a couple of runs. And that gave Hyannis the lead. Currently where we stand now, it's 6-4. No one misses with a breaking ball outside. The count runs to 3-1 on Hess. Kyle's 1 for 2. A single and a fly out to right in the third as no one comes home with a 3-1. It's fouled straight back and the count swells full. So for Hyannis, they currently sit at 7 points. We talked about a little bit ago. Bourne, the team they're looking up at, as a 3-2 on the way from Crisp. A breaking ball. Chopper to fair at first. He plays it on a tough hop off the lip of the grass. He races to the bag himself in time for the second out. So Ian Fair records the first pair of outs in the top of the 6th inning, and that'll give things to the number 9 man, Jake McKenzie. And again, getting back to the standing situation for just a minute. Bourne 7-11 with 14 points. The breaking ball misses up and into McKenzie. It's 1-0 from Crisp. Hyannis, we touched upon it a bit earlier, almost a must-win situation today. 1-0 fastball up and away, but a called strike to even the count. Hyannis currently sits at 3-16-1 after suffering a thumping 16-4 last night at the hands of the Cotuit Kettleers. 1-1 fastball fouled back off the screen. So Cotuit has gotten the better of Hyannis 3 straight times in the first 3 meetings of the season. They've taken a 3-0 lead in the Patriot Cup as a 1-2 comes in. Fastball called, strike 3 at the knees, strike 3. That ends the inning. Nolan Crisp, a very clean 6th inning, 3 up, 3 down. So the bottom of the Bourne order goes in order. Hyannis maintains the 2-run advantage, trying to tack on some more when we come back in the bottom of the 6th on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Rigsby Mosley strides toward the left-handed batter's box to start things off in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Hyannis offense has put up 6 runs on 12 hits in search of some more. Try and pick up a win here in game 1 of the doubleheader as we move toward the later frames in the ballgame. As Rigsby digs in, he's 1 for 2 with the walk on the day. Trying to reach base for the 3rd time. Brazel fires a fastball, a chopper right side. As it trickles toward the Bourne dugout in foul ground. Trevor Hopper and Jared DeSantolo also due up in this frame. Brazel back for his first full inning out of the pen for the Braves. 0-1 fastball. Left side on the ground. Sliding stop made by Galenki. Gets up, fires across the diamond, not in time. So some good effort from the shortstop Galenki to even track down that ball. Went down, made a sliding stop to his knees, got up, fired across the diamond. A nice pick from Beloso at first, but Mosley flashing the speed down the line to beat it out. So the second single for Rigsby of the day, and that'll give things to Trevor Hopper. Trevor trying to find one to square up at the plate as he digs in for the 4th time. He struck out twice and walked once. And again, his 6th walk in 3 games. Racked up 4 in Orleans, picked up 1 at YD. Fastball misses down. And Trevor squaring off against the right-hander Brazel, his college teammate at Arizona State. 1-0 breaking ball misses, or rather a called strike on the outside corner. So the count pulls even at 1-1. So Trevor squaring off here with a fellow Sun Devil. Trying to get the best of him in this at-bat here in the 6th inning with a runner aboard. That's Rigsby Mosley at first. 1-1 a fastball. That's in there for a strike. So 2 strikes on Hauver. The wind again starts to pick up, blowing toward right center here at McKeon Park. It's been a great afternoon for baseball all told. We touched upon it a bit earlier at the beginning of the broadcast. Was some light rain for Hyannis' batting practice earlier today, but has cleared up nicely as a 1-2 pitch misses outside. There is some more rain in the forecast for later on tonight. Hyannis is set to travel to Wareham tomorrow and take on the Gatemen at Spillane Field for the second time this season. 2-2 to Hauver. He's gotten a missed strike 3, but foul tipped into the glove, held onto by Greer nonetheless. So Hauver goes down for the 3rd time on strikes this afternoon, and that'll give things to Jared DeSantolo. So Jared digs in. He's 2 for 3. And again, just more consistent hitting from the FAU Owl. Slotted into the cleanup position in the lineup today for Chad Gassman. And why not? 17 hits on the summer for Jared, and he's just been producing like no other bat in this Hyannis lineup throughout the year. First pitch to him, waves and misses over the top of a breaking ball. The man who waits behind him, Rowdy Jordan. A double and an RBI for him this evening as well. There's some reinforcements for this Hyannis ball club, paying dividends here against the Bourne Braves today. Brazell sets and fires a chopper over his head toward the shortstop. Galenki, it's off the glove into center field. Mosley is going to take a wide turn around second, but pull up there. The throw back into second, not in time as he goes scampering back to the bat. So a base hit from DeSantolo again, a high chopper over the mound. Brazell had no play on it. Galenki gave max effort laying out and getting a piece of the glove on it, but unable to reel it in and flip to second for the force out. So 2-on-1 down here for Rowdy Jordan. This Hyannis offense piling up the hits again, 14 here. Not even through 6 trips to the plate as a team. 143 the number Hyannis sat at entering today's play. First pitch to Rowdy, fastball up and away, ball 1. As far as runs go, Hyannis also sat 8th in the league with 77. And of course, the trend over the last couple games has been walks and free passes. Harborhawks had racked up 70 of those. The 1-0 from Brazell. Jordan swings and sends it in the air to left. Chasing Bruiser back a couple steps, now comes in and makes the grab. 2 down as he fires back to second. Mosley back safely. So Jordan with just a soft piece of contact. A short blooping liner to left. Bruiser had no problem ranging over to make the play. And in steps Edward Julian. And if you're looking to find some more trends for this Hyannis offense, one of those could be the number of men left on base over the course of the past couple of nights. 2 in the first, 1 in each of the second and third innings, 2 more in the fourth, and 1 in the fifth. So at least 1 stranded in each inning Hyannis has been to the plate as the first pitch to Julian was sent foul down the first baseline. Last night against the Catawba Cavaliers, Hyannis stranded 15 men. So again, a 16-4 loss, a 12-run deficit. Nobody's to say that Hyannis would have come back and won that game had they capitalized on some of their opportunities, but that number certainly doesn't help as Julian swings over the top of a fastball low and away. It's 0-2. Ian Fair waits on deck should he have a plate appearance in this inning with 2 down. He's had himself quite the day. His second game back in the lineup since his return to Hyannis in the summer of 2019. Brazell steps off the back of the rubber. Both runners take a step or 2 back toward the bag as Julian steps out to adjust the batting gloves. Again, Brazell made 5 appearances. All of them have been rather clean with the exception of the first one that came on June the 16th against Brewster in which he let up 7. Julian sends an 0-2 fastball chopper on the ground to second. Morsetti ranges over. Easy flip to first. A close play, but not in time. As Julian Just can't beat it up by about a step as Morissetti makes the play to end the inning. So Hyannis strands 2 more, but they still owners of a 2-run lead, 6-4 the score. Pitching staff back to the mound trying to lock down a victory in Game 1 for Hyannis when we return on the Cape Cod Baseball Network. Top of the 7th inning from McKeon Park is Bourne with their last cuts at the plate. 6-4 Hyannis with the lead here from McKeon Park as Judd Fabian makes his way toward the plate. Kind of jumpstart something for Bourne here in the 7th inning. Nolan Crisp is the man on the mound trying to lock down the victory for Hyannis. First pitch is a breaking ball called strike. Well, no one has racked up 1 save on the summer for Hyannis so far. In search of his second. Into the windup, hesitating into the motion, comes home with an 0-1. It's a fastball cut and a miss from Fabian. It's 0-2. The leadoff man for Bourne has already fanned once tonight. That was back in the 3rd inning. Singled since, but Chris comes home with an 0-2. Fabian swings and sends it in the air to left field. Hava ranging back toward the track, over to his right a few steps. He's got it lined up and will make the catch, 1 down. So a good piece from Judd Fabian, but not deep enough as Hava no problem to reel it in. That'll send up Xavier Warren. 4 runs on 8 hits for the Bourne offense. 6 runs on 14 hits. So the Hyannis bats staying aggressive and really piecing it up well in Game 1. Now the defense trying to lock things down. First pitch to Warren, outside, ball 1. Edward Julian in about a step on the lip of the infield grass. Crisp's tan glove in front of his face into the windup, comes home with a 1-0. Just a bit high, 2 balls, no strikes. Now Warren tonight made a couple plays defensively, but at the plate, he's 0 for 3. 2-0 from Crisp. Breaking ball, that's in for a strike to make it 2-1. Cade Beloso will follow Warren in the order, and he'll hit here in the 7th. He's had himself quite the evening. Nolan's 2-1. That one outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. So if Hyannis holds on here in the 7th, they'd improve to 4-16-1 with still 1 game to come this afternoon against these Bourne Braves. Chris comes home with 3-1. Broken back grounder softly towards second base. Servideo, tough off balance. Throw in time to get Warren. So Servideo had to range up the middle, fielded it glove side, and made an off-balance throw off the back leg to first to fair. So 2 down now, and the last hope in Game 1 is Cade Beloso.
Nice job by Crisp, just pitching to contact, and a good play by Servideo as well, moving way to his right. Fielded on the glove side, and then a strong throw across his body.
Nolan fires home a first pitch to Beloso. It's a fastball thigh high, a called strike. So Hyannis just 1 out away from picking up points 8 and 9 on the season. Nolan's 0-1. Fastball swung on and popped up left side, but that will drift back into the crowd. Now Beloso has reached base each of the first 3 times he's been at the plate. Up for the 4th time here in the 7th, trying to extend Game 1 for Bourne for the moment. Nolan's 0-2 to Beloso. In the air to right field. Mosley coming in on it. Got it lined up. He'll make the grab, and that ends the ball game. Hyannis hangs on to take game one of the double dip. 6-4 the final. The offense exploding for 14 hits and picking up a much-needed victory here in game one.
Well, that's huge to get the first game. We talked about if Hyannis can find a way to win both today, they put themselves in really good shape. At the bare minimum, they have to find a way to split, and at the very least, they're going to do that. The offense, like you said, really came together in game one. The 3 spot in the bottom of the 5th was huge, but the 14 hits, they were really just putting it together 1 through 9 in the lineup. And the pitching did enough too. Look, Glenn Albanese, he got knocked around a little bit in the 4th inning, but his first 3 were really strong. It allowed the offense to start kind of getting a foundation going in today's ball game. And then Nolan Crisp was really good after that home run to Cade Beloso. So really all around a pretty clean ball game for Hyannis, and they find a way to pick up the first win.
So a good performance all around from Hyannis as they hang on and take game one of the double dip by a score of 6-4. The final line in this game, 4 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. For the losers, the Bourne Braves. For the victors, the Harbor Hawks, 6 runs on 14 hits and no errors. We have another game coming up for you this afternoon from McKeon Park. Game 2 of that doubleheader will start in just about 45 minutes. We'll have it for you on the Cape Cod Baseball Network.